the course is certificate in human rights, and the course code is CHR 12. And sir will discuss over the today about the block. Already sir has taken one class. So whatever the doubts, whatever the question you have in the first class due to the network problem, so you can ask clarify your doubts. If you have any doubts, then you can ask to the sir initial level. If you don't any doubts, then sir straight away he can present his block 2 class. So now the counselor is a very learned and very senior most academic counselor. Sir's name you already introduced you in the last class is Ramesh Pati. So now I hand over the platform to Ramesh sir. So I request you sir to start your presentation.
Okay. Manos, welcome you. We shall discuss about the rights of women in this unit. And we have already discussed about the human rights, about the background of the human rights. Now we shall discuss the violation of human rights against the woman, its implications, and how to resolve the problem relating to the rights of the woman. Okay? Generally, women's rights have not been classified as human rights. Earlier, the human rights have not been classified as the human rights, but it is the outcome of the struggles of the various agencies, government agencies, non-governmental organizations, and other social groups that the human rights comes into existence. Am I right? As we already know that the families of the Indian families are the patriarchal family. It is a male-dominated family. The women's rights are restricted there. Socially, economically, politically, psychologically, and physically. So this leads to unequal status of men and women. Though our constitution has provided many fundamental rights, like as we have already discussed about the fundamental rights, that is right to equality, right to freedom of speech and expression, right against the exploitation, and all these rights we have already discussed. So these fundamental rights can be exercised by the Supreme Court. So one cannot go directly to the Supreme Court to exercise these fundamental rights. So to address the problems of the women's right, so many enactments, so many legislation, so many laws have been framed. And
ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੋ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲੋ ਉਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਿਨ ਸੋਚੇ ਹਰ ਮੰਗ ਪੂਰੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਚਿਹਰੇ ਤੇ ਗਲੋ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੰਗਦੀ ਉਹੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਬੋਲ ਦਵਾਵੇ ਨੀ ਮੁੱਕਦੇ ਨਾ ਨਖਰੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਮੁੱਕਦਾ ਹੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਤੂੰ ਆਖਰੇ ਚ ਗੱਲ ਨਾ ਕਰੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਜਾਵੇ
hello. Hey, Rumi. Hello. Hello.
Subhuji sir.
हाँ सर हाँ. ठीक है डिस्टर्ब हो गया सर.
कहो सुबुजी के नेक्स्ट मन
हेलो सुबिला सर
सुनाई नो
Sir Subhuji sir.
सुबिला
कहो
so it is very important it is very important to discuss the right about the political rights about the women, that the right to contest in the election, right to campaign, right to be elected, right to be selected, and it has been already made by our legislature that 33% reservations have been made to the women section in the local self government, in the rural local self government like the Panchayati Raj, and the urban local self government like the municipalities and corporations. So there are two rights so far as the women's rights are concerned. One is political right, another is civil right. Political rights, as I have said, the right to campaign, right to contest in the assembly and parliament election, right to assemble freely, and equal citizenship in democracy. Life, liberty, equality, freedom of speech and expression, these are the rights. And the reality is that despite equal rights and civil rights of women are unable to enjoy them. Women's representation in the union, it is found that the women representation in the union, in the parliament, in the assembly are very marginal, though the representation of the women in rural self-government, a local self-government like Panchayati Raj, and in the municipality, the 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 representation of the women is very achievable. Am I understood? So to address, though the fundamental rights have already made the right to equality and the equal protection of law. Right to equality means every person, whoever may be, equal before law, and every person is entitled for the equal protection of law. So the state or the constitution or the any government or executive legislature, nobody will discriminate any person on the basis of religion, caste, creed, color, place of birth. And nobody will, and everybody is entitled for equal protection of law. Whoever he may be, any position, he may have any position in the government as well as semi-government as well as private posts, but they are entitled to equal protection of law. That equal protection of law means he is the prime minister, and that doesn't mean he is not, he has got a certain exemption of law. There is no immunity of law so far as the equal protection of law is concerned. Everybody is entitled to have a fair trial. Everybody should have be restrained from illegal arrest, illegal detention from any authority. So the women's right in the socio-economic, you see, after though the fundamental rights have given the equal rights to the male and female, man and woman, irrespective of the any caste, religion, and other place of birth and other discriminations, but still the women were not given the equal right with the men so far as the inheritance law of property is concerned. Inheritance law of property माने जदियो आगरू आमर संविधान रे बहुत फंडामेंटल राइट जहाँ कि आम मौलिक अधिकार कहूँ जहाँ कि दिया है समस्त को समान भाव रे एवं कौन प्रकार भेदभाव नक दिखाई मैन एंड वुमेन भितर कौन भेदभाव ना छोट लोक बड़ पदवी अच्छा छोट पदवी कौन भेदभाव ना किंतु तथापि भी जो आमर वुमेन मानकर जो प्रॉपर्टी ऊपर जो अधिकार टी अच्छी आमर जो हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट रे अच्छी हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट 1956 हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट 1956 रे गोटे प्रोविजन अच्छी द इनहेरिटेंस टू द प्रॉपर्टी माने द पर्सन्स they will inherit the property of the ancestor or they will inherit of the property of the joint family property, inheritance of the property. So the inheritance may be of two modes, either on the death of a person or on the birth of a person. So before there has been an amendment in Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2056. Hindu Succession Amendment Act गुटे हला Hindu Succession Act 1956 रे हिला Hindu Succession Act 1956 रे हिला एवं 1956 Hindu Succession Act रे खाली पुआ मानकर बर्थ राइट थिला माने कोपर्सन ताकू ताने कोपर्सन बोली कह होता पुआ मानकू माने कोपर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी चारिटा जनरेशन को सेटा चारिटा पीढ़ी को आसूची ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर फादर एंड सन ये चारिटा जनरेशन को एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी बोली कह जाए ये चारिटा जनरेशन जितेबाला गोटे प्रॉपर्टी को से पीढ़ी वाइज बा जनरेशन वाइज से एंजॉय कर आसुचंती ताकू माने कोपर्सनरी जॉइंट फैमिली प्रॉपर्टी बोली कह जाए कोपर्सनरी जॉइंट फैमिली प्रॉपर्टी रे फीमेल मानकर अधिकार नथिला बर्थ राइट थिला मेल रो सन रो केते बेले अधिकार थिला तांकर लिमिटेड राइट थिला पूरा अधिकार तो नहीं तांकर they were enjoying the limited right so for the property right of a woman is concerned limited right रो थिला से वुमेन मानकर एवं सेटा केते बेले सोना पाउथिले जेते बेले गोटे मेल पर्सन मरी जाउथिला किम्मा गोटे फीमेल पर्सन मरी जाउथिला तार उत्तराधिकारी माने जोटा हमर हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट लिखा है जे हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट सेक्शन 8 रे अछि जे 12 क्लास ऑफ फर्स्ट क्लास यार्स अछंती 12टा फर्स्ट क्लास यार्स अछंती जेतेबेले गोटे मेल टे मरी जाए तार प्रॉपर्टी को 12 टाइप रो 12 टाइप्स ऑफ फर्स्ट क्लास यार्स दे इनहेरिट द प्रॉपर्टी इक्वली एंड इक्वली they will inherit the property जदि गोटे मेल पर्सन टे मरी गला तार 12टा फर्स्ट क्लास यार्स इंक्लूडिंग द सन डॉटर विडो सन ऑफ द प्रीडिसेसर सन किमा मृत पुओर मृत पुओर पुओ किमा मृत पुओर झियो किमा मृत झियोर पुओ किमा मृत झियोर झियो एमती 12टा फर्स्ट क्लास यार्स अछंती जदि गोटे हिंदू मेल मरी गला इफ हिंदू मेल डाइज living beyond the years defined prescribed in section 8 of the Hindu Succession Act samane se the property को समान भाव रे samane divide होतला तांको भीतर किंतु झियर कोनोसी अधिकार नथिला माने बर्थ राइट नथिला पुओर बर्थ राइट थिला पुओ जन्म हेबा परे तार जॉइंट फैमिली एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी रे तार बर्थ राइट होई तार जदि तार इंटरेस्ट आसती interest is attached with the son but the interest is not attached with the daughter बापा मरी गला परे से तार प्रॉपर्टी को से बापर प्रॉपर्टी जितकी तार शेयर थिला से शेयर तो पुनी पुआ और झियो भितरे कि मा विडो जदि अछि तांको भितरे समान भाग होतला बुझी होछि हेलो
हाँ सर
सो किंतु बहुत इट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट दैट हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट रे झियो मानकू विडो मानकू हैं किंबा झियोर झियो किंबा कोनोसी फीमेल मानकू जोटा जो माने कि फर्स्ट क्लास यार सेक्शन 6 ऑफ द हिंदू सक्सेशन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट रे जोटा अमेंडमेंट करा हला हिंदू सक्सेशन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो थिला ताकू खाली मेल मानकर अधिकार थिला पुअर अधिकार थिला बर्थ राइट फीमेल रो बर्थ राइट तापरे आफ्टर as the government was pressurized from various fronts like internationally and from nationally ample pressures were exerted on the government to bring about the legislation that is the Hindu Succession Amendment Act Hindu Succession Amendment Act Hindu Succession Amendment Act कहा गला जे झियर भी जी अधिकार अच्छी पुअर भी से अधिकार अच्छे झियो पुअर जमती बर्थ राइट मोर अधिकार अच्छे बर्थ राइट इन द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ए एंसेस्टर झियर भी सेमती प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द एंसेस्टर अच्छे मैंने आगुरी कहला आमर हिंदू पूरा हिंदू लॉ पर्सनल लॉ इज बेस्ड ऑन कस्टम इट इज ए कस्टमरी लॉ इट इज नॉट ए कोडिफाइड लॉ आज इट इज ए कस्टमरी लॉ आमर कस्टम रे थिला जे झियो होची परघर संपत्ति once he is she has been once he is given marriage she belongs to the family member of other the in-laws family तार ससुर घर से मेंबर होतला एवं she was severing the membership of the ancestral family एवं खाली सेतिरे खाली अधिकार दिया हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट रे जे बापा मरीगला पर झीर अधिकार अच्छी पुओ संगे समान किंतु बापा बंची पर्यंत कि एंसेस्टर उत्तर माने एंसेस्टर माने ओडिया रे माने पूर्वपुरुष बंची पर्यंत जोटा कि चारिटा डिविजन कराला चारिटा पीढ़ी कराला ग्रैंडफादर ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर माने बापांकर अजा बा निजर पण अजा तापर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है ग्रैंडफादर तापर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है फादर तापर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन है सन सो यही क्षेत्र में खाली सन रो अधिकार आसूला गोटे कोपर्सनर बार्थराइट आसूला झीर अधिकार बार्थराइट रे नथिला 2005 रे पुओ आ झील को समान अधिकार देदेला जदि आम फंडामेंटल राइट्स कहूँ जो इक्वल राइट irrespective of the caste religion irrespective of the religion caste creed color place of birth but आम हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट रे से इक्वल फंडामेंटल राइट्स को पूरा भायोलेट कला से 2005 रे गोटे लेजिस्लेशन आसिला दैट इज हिंदू सक्सेशन अमेंडमेंट एक्ट सो इन स्पाइट ऑफ द various legislations including the Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Old Hindu law रे खाली पुआ मन को माने अडॉप्शन करा जाउतला झियो मन को अडॉप्शन करा जाउ नथला बा फीमेल को अडॉप्शन करा जाउ नथला तापरे से जो हिंदू अडॉप्शन एक्ट जो आसिला से हिंदू अडॉप्शन एक्ट रे फीमेल मन को भी दिया गला जे गोटे मेल भी गोटे फीमेल को अडॉप्शन करि पारे किंतु कंडीशन इज दैट देयर मस्ट बी द एज गैप बिटवीन द मेल एंड फीमेल there are certain conditions are imposed while taking or giving adoption of either male child or female child. So the adoption the Hindu custom रे adoption male मान को पुआ मान को खाली करा जाता तार कारण है जे the son is entitled to perform the funeral ceremony of his father or grandfather or great grandfather जार पुओ नहीं तार वंशर कौन सी पिला को आनिक से अंत्येष्टि क्रिया बा लास्ट राइट ऑफ ए डेड पर्सन करुले किंतु with the changes in the time with the changes of the constitutional validity with the changes of the international forum relating to the rights of women so it was the government of India was compelled to bring the legislation like the Hindu Adoption Maintenance Act, Hindu Succession Act जे एवं यही दुई एक्ट रे से मेल एंड फीमेल को समान अधिकार दिया सो आपण जानिथिबे जे गृह हिंसा विवाद आईन बा डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट भी गुटे आसिला माने हमर अछि इंडियन पेनल कोड रे अछि जदियो विभिन्न बहुत प्रोविजंस अछि टू एड्रेस द right of the woman and it was insufficient to address the right of the woman so dowry prohibition act equal remuneration act social security act dowry prohibition act माने dowry prohibition act रे माने giving and taking dowry is punishable माने देखा गला जे इंडियन मैरिज सिस्टम रे जो गोटे कस्टम आमर थिला जे झियो को बाहागर बेले किछि ताको प्रेजेंटेशन दिया कथा कारण से प्रेजेंटेशन देले तार किसी घरकरणा जिनस नेले से जिते फैमिली कर गोटे नुआ परिवार कर से गोटे से चलवा विशेष किसी असुविधा हेबा से झीर बापा माँ प्रेजेंटेशन दौर किंतु इन द कोर्स ऑफ टाइम it turned into a ugly system, that is the dowry act. So though as it was not sufficient to address the rights of the woman, to tackle the situation of dowry given to the woman, given to the debtors, it turned into a demonly affairs, and many married wives, newly married wives, they have to sacrifice their lives, they have to lay their lives, and they were being killed, they are being killed by the in-laws house only for the mere properties. এবং দেখা গেল যে খালি the woman, only the women are not subjected to cruelty in the outside of the family, but they are being victimized inside the family also. गोटे फैमिली रे पुओटे झीटे थी पुओ को पढ़ाई अधिकार दिया झील दे विल परफॉर्म द डोमेस्टिक वर्क्स, they will fetch the water, they will do the domestic works, they will take care of the other children, they will take care of other children, they will take care of everything, but the son is given ample opportunity to have a education, to have other facilities, but at the same time in the home the women or the girls, they were not given such opportunity as like as this one. Therefore it is seen that the women are being victimized of many sexual offenses like molestation, torture, sexual abuse, molestation, kidnapping, using the girls or females in the prostitution work, employing the girls in various other works, transportation of the girls from one place to another place, export or imports of the girls, not only in national level but also internationally. In the border area, the women or girls are being transported. Due to poverty, the women or girls are being employed in various works. They are fetching the earning to the family. They are earning income for the family. And their active participation to make money. They are being employed as the domestic help. They are being used as the domestic servants. So it leads to the inequality between men and women. Even if in the own family, in the blood relation, sometimes in the family the father subjects cruelty to the daughter, the brother causes cruelty to the sister, even the mother does the inequality in between the son and daughter. The son is given more rights, the daughter is given restricted rights, limited rights. The son enjoys the absolute right in the family. The daughter does not enjoy the absolute right in the family. So, in the society, till now, the ratio of illiteracy, the ratio of ignorance much prevail in the women folk. Though there has been achievable, though we have achieved the human rights to a certain extent, they are being employed in the public offices. Even they are joining the military services. They are being made pilots. They are engineers, doctors, teachers, skilled laborers, and they are seen to be in organized sector. But still, the women are being victimized. They have been, they are being victimized for the enjoyment of sex by the males. Till now, the security towards the woman has not been satisfactory. The woman or the girl cannot come out freely. She is to face many sexual abuse. Many bad utterances were made against her. They are being abused sexually. Sexist remarks are being given to them. So, a woman cannot go out from the house in the night. The woman needs a security everywhere, in every public place, in every place, not only public place, because they are vulnerable class. Vulnerable class in this sense, till yet we have not evolved the woman to the strength of fighting the social evils. 90% social evils are against them. They have been denied the fundamental rights. ଆପଣମାନେ ଘରେ ଦେଖିଥିବେ, the woman or the mother or the sister or the sister-in-law or grandmother, they perform the every domestic works in the family, from early morning to the late night. Even in our traditional family, the male person do not have a glass of water. Even they do not have a glass of water voluntarily. They will order the female. She will give a glass of water. So, if it is a handiwork of a man, if he can bring a glass of water, if he can bring the food without the help of then there would be a help to the females. So now it has been a very dangerous trend that the women are being victimized in their own home. it is visible to the outside world if they are subject to criminality outside the home. Criminal action will be taken against the person, against the perpetrator, or against the offender. He will be booked under Indian Penal Code. He will be arrested under the Criminal Procedure Code. He will be sent for trial according to the Prison Criminal Procedure Code. And at last, if it is proved, the person will be held guilty and he will be punished. But in the own home, if she is subjected to cruelty, if she is subjected to gender discrimination, if she falls prey to the other social equalities, if she suffers from economical sustenance, no female was in service earlier. In last 40 years, the appointment of the woman or the employment of the woman are visible, but still the scenario is very dismal. The scenario, the gamut of women's development or the women empowerment is very weak. In spite of all technology, in spite of all social and economical development, in spite of the all securities, in spite of the all provisions of law, in the day broad light, the women are being molested, they are being raped, they are being sexually abused, sexist remarks. So it leaves behind a scar on the woman. Sometimes so many crimes against the woman are not detected. The women are being followed or stalked. In the transportation system, like in the vehicles, public transport or railways, and even in the air, the women are subject to sexist remarks. In the public office, they are being not taken care of. They are feeling very odd in the public office because the sight of the eyesight of the male persons is not good. They are only motto. They have only the attitude towards the woman is sexual. So the main cause of the victimization of the woman is that most of the women are illiterate. They are not aware of their rights. Even if they are aware, they are afraid of they will be stigmatized in the public view. They will be rebuked in the public view. Their prestige will be staked. Their reputation will be harmed. So, in the fear of their reputation, in the fear of their prestige, in the fear of being defamed, sometimes the female, they do not complain anything. And they bear the all atrocities. They bear all inhuman activities against them. So one of the main cause of atrocities against the women, that in our familial system, traditional family system, the women are being given early marriage. Within 15 ବର୍ଷ କିମ୍ବା ତାଠାରୁ ଆହୁରି ଅନ୍ୟ କମ୍ ବୟସର ଝିଅମାନଙ୍କୁ ବାହା କରି ଦିଆଯାଉଥିଲା, when they were not accessible to maintain the marital life. এবং যার দ্বারা কোন হউতলা, the women mortality rate was very high, মানে মৃত্যু হারটা ওমেন মানকৰ বহুত বেশি ଥିଲା, কারণ ସେମାନେ ବାହା ହଉଥିଲେ, তারপরে the woman who is not matured enough to carry the pregnancy, they are being মানে গর্ভধারণ করুଥିଲେ, তারপরে ছুয়া জন্ম করুଥିଲେ, ছুয়া জন্ম কলা পরে তাঙ্কর malnutrition, তারপরে they were being subject to various diseases, malnutrition হউতলা, anemia বলি করে ଗୋଟେ disease হউতলা, রক্তহীনতা হউতলা, এবং পরিবার মানଙ୍କରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଶୋଷଣ ଯୋଗୁଁ, due to the oppression of the woman in her own family, due to heavy load of works, due to not getting the proteinous or nutritious food, ସେମାନେ they were being weakened, ସେମାନେ ଦୁର୍ବଳ ହେଇଯାଉଥିଲେ, এবং they are also giving birth the stunted child. So যদিও সমাজ দুর্বল হউଥିଲେ, খাবার পাউনଥିଲେ, even in the rural area, during the pregnancy also they used to carry the waters from the distant place like ponds and tube wells. They were not given the proper food, nutritious food. So to prevent the Child Marriage Act, there was a legislation that is called Child Marriage Restraint Act. মানে ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଆଇନ ଆଣିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିଲା, that is Child Marriage Restraint Act, and it is punishable. তারপরে আমার গোটে আইন আসিলা এবং গাঁর মানকরে দেখা গলা যে the women labor are the very unorganized labor class, unskilled labor class. Though they were working with the men equally, but they were given the minimum wage than the wage of a male labor. And the owners were harvesting many works from the female laborers. So taking into consideration of this aspect, our government of India brought the legislation that is Equal Remuneration Act. সমান কামকু সমান দাম, equal pay for equal work, Equal Remuneration Act. Then Prevention of Immoral Trafficking Act, মানে দেখা গলা immoral traffic act means মানে the girls or the women are being transported. There has been rampant export and import of girls. The girl child were being sold due to poverty. The girls are being used as the bonded laborers, the girls or women, bonded labor. They are being employed as the domestic help. And they are being used as the rock lifters. माने female मानकु माने बहुत बहुत माने घृणित किमा सबुठु कदर्य कथा जे the girls are being seen in the streets collecting the rocks. माने से जो बोतल फटल सेटा सब इटा करी करी हाँ प्लास्टिक बोतल सेटा कलेक्शन करिवे बिकिवे सेठी तांकर पैसा. And due to poverty of the family, the daughters or the other girls are being used to fetch some earning to the family. And due to poverty also, they are being used sexually. তারপরে ইকুয়াল রেমুনারেশন একটা ছিল, প্রিভেনশন অফ ইমোরাল ট্রাফিক একটা ছিল, তারপরে আসিলা সতী অ্যাক্ট উইডো বর্ণিং, যাকে আপনারা সমস্তে জানিছন্তি যে রাজা রামমোহন রায়, the social reformer of India, he brought about an revolution across the India. And with the cooperation of with the collaboration of the then British government or colonial government, the Sati Act or Widow Burning Act was prevented, or it is now wiped out. There was the Dowry Prohibition Act, which is punishable offense, but still there is rampant cases of dowry deaths, dowry killings, rampant cases of torture, domestic torture of the in-laws family. Either they are being killed or they are compelled to commit suicide. In spite of all these criminal provisions, in spite of all the provisions made by our legislation like the Indian Penal Code, Criminal Procedure Code, Dowry Prohibition Act, Equal Remuneration Act, Child Act of restraining the child marriage, the abolition of the Child Marriage Act, Prevention of the Child Marriage Act. In spite of all this, the problems or the victimization of women, for the victimization of women are not checked. The women are being prey to the torture in the family. So in 2005, there has been a legislation that is called Domestic Violence Prevention Act, Domestic Violence Act, 2005. Prevention of Domestic Violence Act. So, if the woman is subject to cruelty, torture, economically, socially, culturally, psychologically, physically, no law will come to protect her. So, to address this type of problems, to resolve such type of problems, to check such type of problems, or to check the atrocities against the women in their own home, we have to bring the Domestic Violence Act. and it will be summarily tried. Within 6 months, there has been provision of trial. There has been a provision of a protection officer in every district, protection of women officer in every district. The government is employed, and the protection officer will look into the atrocities of the woman in their own home by her own relatives, blood relatives, by her own in-laws members, by her own family members. The woman, any person, there has been a society, the domestic violence, women's society are also present in the district. Governmental organization, through the governmental organization or non-governmental organization. They will look into the problems with the women in their own home. So moto, they may so moto without any complaint, they may take care of the woman or to prevent the woman from the atrocities from the home. Various social organization and non-governmental organization also come into existence to address the problem of the woman. And the protection officer, after due recording of the statement of the woman against the complaint of cruelty, torture, or any abuse, she will prepare a report in the prescribed form as per law of the Domestic Violence Act, Prevention of Domestic Violence Act. And this report will send to the court for the cognizance. In spite of all this, there is a convention, there is an international treaty signed by the government of India, that is United Nations organizations in the field of human rights is also a part of the act. So there are also various social groups as per the convention of the General Assembly of United Nations, December 1979, and came into force on 3rd December 1981. It aims at ending all the forms of discrimination. So the aim of bringing this legislation, the aim of the aim of convention, international convention signed by the government of India internationally, in spite of various international treaties signed by the government of India with the international organizations like Human Rights Organization, Women's Organization, World Health Organization. Labor organizations. So, as we know, the child labors are strictly prohibited in India. It is also incorporated in our fundamental rights. No person under the age of 7 can employ in any work, hazardous work. The children from the age of 17 to 14, they are also not allowed to work in any factory or in hazardous works. In various works in various carpentry, plastic factory, glass factory, or the loom factory, the in the where the dress materials are manufactured in these factories, the children are being employed. The children are being employed. For that reason, they are susceptible or accessible to various diseases from the childhood. And the girls are also being seen to be the employed in various works like domestic helps. Most of the girls, due to poverty, they are being used as a domestic help or domestic servant. The little girls, they are being used as domestic servant or to take care of the children of the owner. So it is a deprivation of the human rights. As you know, how the childhood is the sensitive one. Every child has got right to to play, to read, to express his thought. So we should we should not only see them in sympathy, but also they are the stakeholder in the society. They are the future of the nation. Today's child is the tomorrow's adult. Today's child is the tomorrow's adult. If the girl child, if the female child are not being taken care of, how the society will prosper? How will lead the society? How will think of the future of the nation? How can we imagine the developed India? So without the right, full-fledged right, socially, economically, politically, physically, psychologically, in every respect, if the women are not given rights, then the society will not sustain. If we torture the woman, if we cause cruelty to the woman, they will not give birth to sound children. Many stunted children are likely to take birth. The women and children will suffer from malnutrition. There will be infant mortality and the children mortality. There will be the woman mortality as well as the children mortality. So we see that the ratio of women has been decreasing in every day. The population of the women is on the stake. In state like Rajasthan, the numbers of women are being in a marginal situation. The male persons they are not able to get marriage due to the marginal number of the women in the state. The thing is that they are discouraging the women. They are not giving birth the women. Earlier detection is made medically. माने बहुत लोग को कौन करचंदी राजस्थान रे समाने they are terminate the women are being the pregnancy is being terminated with the help of unscrupulous medical persons. असाधु मेडिकल लोक मान जरिया रे समाने तांकर टेस्ट करूचंती सेक्स टेस्ट करूचंती. If it is a male child, then they are taking care of the pregnancy and taking care of the delivery of the child. If it is a female child, if the embryo, there is a female child in the embryo, they are terminating the pregnancy or they are aborting the child. So very inhuman, very insensitive, not based on morality, spirituality, and not based on any humanity. Very ugly science are being developed. So in this way, we have we have almost all discussed about the women's relating to human rights. If these rights are not given, that the women's rights will not be protected, the society will not thrive, the development of the nation will not prosper. If the females are not given respect, if the females are stigmatized, in village area, in rural area, it is seen that the women representatives in the Panchayati Raj, they are being, they are so many bad words, bad, very in filthy language, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଗାଳି ଦିଆଯାଏ ଯାର ଦ୍ୱାରା କି their rationality and morality in to serve the people or to serve the society ଆଉ ହୋଇପାରେ ନାହିଁ and the persons they enjoy to keeping sexual remarks of women in the society. They forget that they come to the society due to the women. They forget that they have mother, they have sisters, they have grandmothers, they have other relatives. Yeah, we cannot imagine the society without the development of the psychologically development of the female. You cannot imagine the society without the physical development of the female, without economical and political development of the female. So, in this sense, there has been a commission, National Commission of Women, which is constituted of the chairman of the National Commission and the persons who have knowledge and training and very experience in the field of doing activities for the protection of the rights of the women, for the women empowerment. The members are selected in the nationally and they will look into the matter voluntarily. So moto they take the cognizance of the problems of women or they take the cognizance of the atrocities of women by the complaint of the woman or by the any relative of the woman. Likewise, there is a commission of women in the state level and this commission is constituted by one of the chairperson and 2 or 3 female members they are to assist and they have the knowledge or sufficient knowledge dealing with the problem of the woman, addressing the problem of the woman. But in spite of all these things, there has been some lacuna, there has been flaws in the laws in which the problems of women, the torture towards the woman, the victimization of the woman are not being properly addressed in the legal forums also. Because due to lack of awareness, due to apathy of the machineries like government machineries and public mechanism, and the commissions have no legal teeth to deal with the situation, to punish a offender, to punish a perpetrators. So it is seen that it is also seen that the enactment has been made that no woman can be arrested after during the light or from the morning till evening. The woman can be arrested not by male arresting person or legally arresting personalities. They are the female persons. They will arrest the a female offender or female accused, not offender, female accused, which are and the provision of arrest are prescribed in the criminal procedure code. Various guidelines are given by the Supreme Court how to arrest of the person, but how to deal with the female arrestees, how they will be produced in the court. That another aspect I was just forgetting, that custodial deaths of the women are also very landmark situation, or unfortunately it is going on. So we need to create awareness in the society for the empowerment of the woman, for the protection of the right of the woman. As you know, there have been so many international organizations, national organizations, and they were making aware, creating awareness in the society to to create awareness in the society, making understanding to the families, and giving education to the females, the women, so that they will be uplifted. Various projects and programs are being done by the government to enhance their economical power, not to be dependent on only on the male members for their sustenance and for their livelihood. They will not, if the economic power is come to their hand, then naturally the atrocities to the women and the tortures meted out to them will be reduced. So we have we have to shoulder the responsibility to make the awareness. Only the enactment of laws will not be sufficient. So we have to create awareness, not only in the sense of female psychology, but also in the sense of the society and the family. The family is the main society. If the female will not come out properly from the family, then the society will not prosper accordingly. And correspondingly, the nation will not grow. So we have to create awareness, not only taking the help of the government, but also by forming the voluntary organizations. We have to create awareness among the females in the society to go ahead with the women empowerment, to go ahead with to develop the women society psychologically, physically, socially, economically, and politically. And with this, we conclude the human rights relating to the right of the woman. And if in this context anybody wants to clear their doubt or have any question, you can ask me. Hello. You are all concerned about the crimes against the woman? ଆପଣ କିଛି ହଁ
सर हिंदू सेसेशन एक्ट 1956 ହେଇଥିଲା ହିନ୍ଦୁ ଏଡପ୍ସନ ଆକ୍ଟ କେବେ ହେଇଥିଲା
ହିନ୍ଦୁ
ଏଡପ୍ସନ ଆକ୍ଟ
1955 ହେଇଥିଲା ଏବଂ ହିନ୍ଦୁ ସକ୍ସେସନ ଆକ୍ଟ 1956 ରେ ହେଇଥିଲା ହିନ୍ଦୁ ସକ୍ସେସନ ଆକ୍ଟ 1956 ରେ ହେଇଥିଲା ଆଉ ସେଟା 1955 ମୋର ଯାହା ମନେ ପଡୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷର ଇଆଡେ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଷର ଅନ୍ତରରେ ହେଇଛି ଆଉ
थैंक यू सर
ହଁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
यस सर
ହଁ ହଁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
यस सर
ହଁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
हाँ
କୁହନ୍ତୁ
सर बुझी
ବୁଝିଲେ
हाँ
ତ
सर गुटे डाउट देते हाँ सर
ହଁ କୁହନ୍ତୁ କୁହନ୍ତୁ
सर गुटे ही डाउट थिला
ଗୋଟେ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିଲା ତ ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ we shall go to another chapter
यस सर
okay so now we will be discussing about the rights of children okay so we are also bound by the declaration of human rights and convention of the rights of child that is convention on the right of child or CRC or human declaration of human rights that is UDHR declaration of human rights and convention of child rights we are bound by the convention internationally and we have already signed the treaties with the IGNOU so you know this the childhood is how sensitive the childhood is very sensitive it is vulnerable and they do not claim anything due to their innocence they are innocents we are all child we were all child we are all children sorry we are all children and from the today's child is the tomorrow's adult so the children are the future of nation if the mental and physical growth will not be taken care of the advancement of the nation is not thinkable am I right so children deserve special care is not it the children deserve special care because due to their innocency they do not claim anything from the society so we have to take care of them we have to grow the child physically mentally socially economically educationally in every respect they have to be taken care of so who is considered to be a child to what extent of age a person will be considered as a child आम क्या छुआ बोल क्या चाइल्ड बोल के वर्ष पर्यटन आम जन को छुआ बोली कह निश्चित भाव में आमर अच्छी माने प्राय 18 वर्ष पर्यंत हु इज ए माइनर माने छुआ माने माइनर देयर इज वी आर मेजर्स above 18 years a person becomes major below 18 years a person becomes minor so in our IPC Indian Penal Code also it is very clearly and categorically stated that a minor below the 7 years cannot commit an offense से offense कले मध्य किछि सेटा पुनिशेबल नुहे जदि 7 वर्ष छुआ जदि 7 वर्ष कि 7 वर्ष छुआ जदि किछि ऑफेंस करूछि सेटा पुनिशेबल नुहे एवं जदि 7 वर्ष रु 18 वर्ष पर्यंत से जदि किछि ऑफेंस कला से माने को एक्ट आसीबे जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ସେପାରେଟ ଲେଜିସ୍ଲେସନ କରାଯାଇଛି 1986 ସେଇ ଆଇନଟା ଆସିଲା 1986 ଯେ ଜୁଭେନାଇଲ ମାନେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ, ଜୁଭେନାଇଲ ମାନେ ହେଲା ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ, ସେ ଜୁଭେନାଇଲ ଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ଆକ୍ଟରେ ସେମାନେ ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ଟ୍ରାଏଡ୍, ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଜୁଭେନାଇଲ ଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ଆକ୍ଟରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ତାଙ୍କର କେସ୍ ଜୁଡିସିଆଲରେ ବିଚାର କରାଯିବ ଏବଂ the person who will consider the crimes or offense committed by the juvenile, he will not conduct as a magistrate, or no advocate will be allowed to act like an advocate, but there will be a juvenile board in which the first class magistrate will be the chairperson, and two social service holder or the social workers, they will be the members of the board. And so many guidelines have been given while arresting a juvenile, a person who has committed. It is seen that the juveniles are committing very heinous offenses like the atrocities on women and the offense like rape. The juveniles are being committed. In the Nirbhaya rape case, a juvenile was the prime offender or principal offender, and he has been given relaxation under the Juvenile Act. No harsh punishment or no harsh punishment will be given to this juvenile. Rather, they will be given chance for his reformation. He will be kept in the observation home, and the person who will be punished, he will be kept in the juvenile observation home, and all sides will be kept on the juvenile offender, that they will reform and they will join the mainstream of the society. So when they will be tried, there are various guidelines that the person, the police or any legally arresting person, they should have the experience or they should have knowledge of psychology of the child, or they should have knowledge having any training about the juvenile offense or juvenile activities, juvenile psychology. He should arrest the person, and while arresting a juvenile offender or juvenile accused, the parents should be informed properly that he has been accused of such and such offense, and he will be taken to the juvenile board, and the bail matter will be considered accordingly. Or how the juvenile will be, when the juvenile will be produced, how the juvenile will be produced, how he will be sent to the judicial custody, that is all prescribed in the Act, Juvenile Justice Act. And the board will try the accusation committed by the juvenile, and if he is found guilty, he will be kept in the juvenile observation home, in which he will be treated, not punished. He will be treated, and he will be given psychological therapy, how and the background of his crime, what made him to commit such type of crime, and he will be treated, he will be observed, he will be rescued, and after reformation he will be left in the mainstream of the society, and every attempts should be made to reform a juvenile who is deviated from the path of normal life. And no person is born criminal. These circumstances, the peripheral circumstances, makes him criminal or offender due to some psychological disorders, or due to not understanding capacity in a person, he commits the crime. So the psychological aspects should be taken into consideration. And to reform the juvenile, there will be the economical, the judicial acts will also do accordingly, corresponding corresponding to the reformation of the juvenile offender and the juvenile criminal. So it is the very obligatory duty of every person to take care of the child physically, psychologically. And we see so many childrens, they are being employed in tea stall, they are being employed in dhabas, they are being employed in the hazardous works like factories, industries, manufacturing of glass, manufacturing of clothes. In these works they are being employed. Due to this, their personalities are not developed. They are subject to many diseases. They are subject to many respiratory diseases. The growth of the child is stunted. The proper growth is not being seen in children. Psychological growth is in dismal condition. So much pressures are given to the children. They are being beaten, they are being tortured. Most of the children are being used as the domestic help in the family. They take care of the other children of the owner. So due to these facts, the natural growth of the child does not take place. So every child has got fundamental rights to live, to sustain, to express his opinion. Though he has no cognizable faculty to claim. So till the 7 years, till the 5 or 6 years, the children do not know to claim, do not know to exercise their rights. So we must take care of. If we do not take care of our children, only we are indulged in our family, our own children, and we will lose sight of the other children in the society. So the society will not grow. So there has been a provision of adoption. So many orphanages, it is seen that where the children are kept, the orphan children, parentless children, or fatherless or motherless children. So many organizations, they are heading the orphanages. In certain orphanages also, the children are subject to cruelty. They are subject to sexual abuse. Pornography is being made is being made forcibly to the children. The tourists are being supplied with the children, male or female. For their sexual activities. The female, the Girl child is being used for sexual activities. So many heinous crimes are like rape, sexual abuse, molestations are committed towards the children, girl children. They are being they are being transported from one place to another place, from one nation to another nation, taking the help of the some dalals, taking the help of the certain unscrupulous persons who are who are concerned of only making money, not having any rationality, not having any morality, not having any spirituality, not having consideration of any societal growth, societal growth. So the welfare of the child is the very essential for the growth of the nation. The children are forced to work due to poverty. Children work for long hours, often in dangerous and unhealthy condition. They are exposed to lasting physical and psychological harm. They are exposed to disabled with eye damage, lung disease, stunted growth, and unsusceptibility to arthritis and grow older by working at rock looms. So, due to these works are being made by the children, they are suffering from these diseases, stunted growth. They are being employed in the factories despite of some despite of ban on some forms of children labor by ILO. ILO means International Labour Organization. Worst forms of child labor convention, there are many children toiling in inhuman conditions. We know that India has higher position of child laborers. ଆଉ କୌଣସି କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ଏତେ ମାତ୍ରାରେ ଶିଶୁ ଶ୍ରମିକ ନାହିଁ। ଭାରତରେ ଯେତିକି ଶିଶୁ ଶ୍ରମିକ ଅଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଘରେ, ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଚା ଦୋକାନରେ, ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଦୋକାନରେ, ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଦୋକାନରେ, କପଡ଼ା ଦୋକାନରେ, କିରାନା ଦୋକାନରେ, ଢାବାରେ ଏପରି ଶିଶୁ ଶ୍ରମିକ କୌଣସି କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିରେ ନାହିଁ। Even if we make sight of the child laborers in various places, even in hazardous places, in factories and industries, we are so insensitive to will look into the problem of the children, to look into the torture of the children. मोर कौन जाउछि आ मोर कौन हबो मु तो ठीक आराम रे अछि एई जो मानसिकताटा अछि सेति पई हमर जो कहबार कौन काहाकू माने कहबार सत्साहस नहीं जे तू काहे के पुरी करूछु एवं जदि आम लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसी को से जिनिस को तार नजर को आनिबा पई हमर जदि सत्साहस नहीं किंबा से लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसी माने जो अछंती टू प्रिवेंट द चाइल्ड लेबर्स, to prevent the atrocities towards the children, तांकर जदि कोनोसी तांकर मानसिकता नहीं to prevent the children's suffering तापरे किछि हबोनी। एवं मु आगरु कहि रखिछि जे हमर इंडियन पेनल कोड भी प्रोविजन अछि जे चिल्ड्रन माने कोनोसी प्रकार रो शिकार कामर शिकार किंबा कौन गोटे विपद संकुल अवस्थार शिकार हवा ବିପଦ ସଂକୁଳ ଜାଗାରେ କାମ କରିବା ପୁରା ମନା କରାଯାଇଛି ଆର୍ଟିକଲ 50 ଏବଂ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଛୁଆର 6 ରୁ 14 ବର୍ଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ତାର ବିନା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଶିକ୍ଷା ପାଇବାର ଅଧିକାର ଅଛି ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ଦି ଫଣ୍ଡାମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ରାଇଟ୍ସ ଏବଂ ଏଟା ବି ଫଣ୍ଡାମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ରାଇଟ୍ ମୌଳିକ ଅଧିକାର ଛୁଆର ଶିକ୍ଷାଗତ ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟଗତ ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ଫିଜିକାଲ ସେ ସୁସ୍ଥ ରହିବାଟା ବି ତାର ମୌଳିକ ଅଧିକାର ସେଥିପାଇଁ 1975 ରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ କରାହେଇଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆଜି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେଟା ଚାଲିଛି ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ଦି ICDS ଏବଂ ଛୁଆମାନେ ଯେମିତି ଶିକାର ନ ହେବେ ଛୁଆମାନେ ଯେମିତି ତାଙ୍କର ପାଠ ପଢ଼ିବେ ଛୁଆମାନେ ଯେମିତି ଡ୍ରପ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ସ ନ ହେବେ ସ୍କୁଲରୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆଜିକାଲି government agencies, government machineries, and other social voluntary groups, social organizations, volunteer organizations, non-governmental organizations, they are taking much efforts. And you know that our beloved Satendranath, his name, he has got the Nobel Prize for the cause of the children. এবং ଛୁଆମାନଙ୍କୁ କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାରର ଶିକାର ଫିଜିକାଲି ମେଣ୍ଟାଲି ସ୍ପିରିଚୁଆଲ ଦେ ସୁଡ୍ ନଟ୍ ବି ଭିକ୍ଟିମାଇଜଡ୍ ଦେୟାର ଫଣ୍ଡାମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ରାଇଟ୍ସ ଟୁ ଗ୍ରୋ ସାଉଣ୍ଡଲି ପ୍ରପରଲି nutritious food should be given to them they are entitled for nutritious food they are entitled for health care so ଶିକ୍ଷାର ଯେମିତି ପ୍ରସାର ହେବ ଛୁଆମାନଙ୍କର ଛୁଆମାନେ ଯେମିତି ସ୍କୁଲରୁ ବଞ୍ଚିତ ନ ହେବେ ଶିକ୍ଷାରୁ ବଞ୍ଚିତ ହେବେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ମାନେ ସେଟା କ'ଣ କହନ୍ତି ସର୍ବଶିକ୍ଷା ଅଭିଯାନ ସରକାର କରିଛନ୍ତି ICDS ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରୋଗ୍ରାମ ଏବଂ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଘରକୁ ସେ ଭଲେଣ୍ଟିୟର୍ସ ମାନେ ବା ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ୱାର୍କର୍ସ କିମ୍ବା ହେଲ୍ଥ ୱାର୍କର୍ସ ଏବଂ ପାରାମେଡିକାଲ ଷ୍ଟାଫ୍ସ they will visit home to home to see the condition of the child to see the condition of the lactating mother to see the condition of the pregnant women in the family and others in other area ସେମିତି ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସସ୍ ଫୁଡ୍ ଖାଇବେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସରକାର ବି ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା କରିଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଛତୁଆ ଅଣ୍ଡା ଏବେ କ'ଣ ଦିଆହେଉଛି ଭିଟାମିନସ୍ ଟ୍ୟାବଲେଟ୍ ବା ଅନ୍ୟାନ୍ୟ ଜିନିଷ ସବୁ ଦିଆହେଉଛି ଏବଂ ବହୁତ ଦୁଃଖର କଥା ଯେ ଛୁଆମାନେ ବଣ୍ଡେଡ୍ ଲେବର ବି ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ତାର କାରଣ ହେଲା ଇଣ୍ଡିଆର ବହୁତ ଲୋକ ଗରିବ ଅଟନ୍ତି they are poverty stricken people the children earn for their to run the family sometimes the great grandfather or grandfather or father they have certain conditional ties with the brokers or dalals of the laborers they will lend some money from the brokers पैसा पत्र धरी आनी एवं समय जाई न पारिबे तापरे बंधा पकाइबे तांको छुआमान एटा सबुठारु वेरी डिस्मल सिचुएशन इन इंडिया एवं से छुआमान को से नेगिरी असद व्यवहार लगाउछंती सेक्सुअल एक्टिविटी से लगाउछंती चोरी काम रे लगाउछंती बेगिंग काम रे लगाउछंती द मोस्ट वेरी precarious condition in the society the children are begging the children are employed in begging and sometimes they are given injuries to their eyes to their limbs to their other limbs in order to attract or in order to fetch more income from begging छुआ मान को माने भगवान धरे दिया जाउची इमेज गुटे भगवान कर मूर्ति धरे दिया जाउची एवं समाज एग्री घर घर मागुछन ट्रेन रे मागुछन बस मान करे मागुछन ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम रे मागुछन या एठु बड़ी दुखर कथा और परितापर विषय कौन हो पारे ए 70 वर्षर स्वाधीनता परे मध्य जदि आमे आमर छुआ मन को आमे माने सिक्युरिटी दे परिला नहीं ताहले देशर अवस्था भी सांघातिक ही खाली आमर निजर छुआ छुआ नुह प्रत्येक छुआ जे पृथ्वी को आसी से सबु छुआ तांकर समान अधिकार हेबा कथा तांकर मिनिमम खाइबा पीवा तांकर वस्त्र तांकर समाज रे बढ़िबा तांकर स्वास्थ्यगत तांकर शिक्षा ए सब अधिक कौन से अधिकार दे शुड नॉट बी डिप्राइव्ड ऑफ So, in this sense, another aspect of child abuse are taking place in the form of child sexual abuse, and its prevention have become major problems in all countries, particularly in India. Sexual abuse in children can occur both within the families and outside, like in social groups and underprivileged situation, and is in orphanages. There is a lack of specific laws against child sexual abuse. People are generally ignorant, and due to lack of awareness, this subject, such abuses have scars on people. So you see, in spite of all these things, the child marriage, though it is reduced to a larger form, but the child marriage system is very माने बहुत एजेड लोक माने बहुत छोट बिलो द 18 और बिलो द 15 इयर्स झिया मन को बाहा जोटा कि तांकर से मदर ग्रोथ रे भी बाधा आसीबो एवं जो छुआ से जन्म करिवो तार ग्रोथ रे भी बाधा आसी द मदर विल आल्सो सफर फ्रॉम डिजीज malnutrition. These children will also suffer from disease and malnutrition. So, if we ignore the mother, the child will suffer. So, the mother is the creator of the society. So, we should not ignore mother as well as the child. So, now the children are being used for prostitution and pornography, sex, pornography, you know, and the prostitutions where they are being the girl child are very much used. Child trafficking is very much. Child trafficking means, you know, the transportation of child or children from one place to another place for illegal works or immoral works. So the children are being made trafficking. So there is act immoral trafficking act. They are being used as the prostitution. They are being employed as beggars. They are employed in various works. They are employed in various industries. They are employed in various factories. So this type of molestation, sexual abuse, prostitution, pornography are being made by the illegal persons, notorious persons, unscrupulous persons in the society. So we need to take care of the child with strong hand, with the strong legal hand. And in spite of this, the social awareness, the interest of the government, the interest of the society, the interest of every citizen should be invested to take care of every child. So there should not be any gender discrimination of the children, irrespective of their status, irrespective of their caste, creed, color, birth and economical condition. There should not be any gender discrimination. Right of children. So various UN conventions are being made for the sake of the right of the child, for the security of the children, for the good health, for the culture, to prevent the illegal drugs, to prevent the kidnapping. The convention recognizes the child as subject to guarantees the freedom of expression and participation in making decisions affecting their rights. The United Nations proclaimed 1979 as the year child. So many conventions by the emerged from the United Nations. The convention, accordingly, the first India country report was submitted in UN in 1979. Second country report was submitted on the rights of the child in 2001, which was discussed as an oral hearing in Geneva, 21st January 2004. The UN committee appreciated the report and gave its comments and observation. The next country report was due in 2008, and the report may be submitted. And with this, we have discussed many aspects of the children's rights, and the violation of the children's rights are the violation of human rights. Unless the children's rights are protected, the human rights is unimaginable. We cannot think about the human rights, because the children, the today's child is the tomorrow's child. The children are the future of the nation. If the innocent childs, if the innocent child and sensitive childs, if the plight of the innocent child are not taken care of, the society will not grow, because they are vulnerable, they are weaker section, they have got innocency, till they are a age of majority, till the age of the majority, till they have proper cognitive faculty to consider, ସେଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେମାନେ କୌଣସି କଥା ସେମାନେ କ୍ଲେମ୍ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଆମକୁ ଗାର୍ଡିଆନ ମାନଙ୍କୁ सोसाइटी को सरकार को एवं यूनो को मध्य सजग होगा पड़ो, हाउ टू टेक केयर ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन, हाउ टू प्रोटेक्ट देयर राइट्स, हाउ टू प्रोटेक्ट देम फ्रॉम atrocities and other cruelties and tortures. Okay, so with this we conclude this chapter. Anything else you have to ask me, you can.
Sir,
Okay.
sir, in our India has more child labor, ଯେମିତି କି hotel, tea shops and any other places. But when we will found them, ଗୋଟେ hotel ରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ମାଲିକ ହଉ ଅଦର ଗୋଟେ ଦୋକାନର ୱିନର ହଉ, ତାଙ୍କୁ କେମିତି ଟାଇପ ର ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ ମିଳୁଛି ଆମର ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ ପେନାଲ କୋଡ ଅନୁସାରେ। ଯଦି ଜଣେ ମାନେ क्वेश्चन ଟା ମାନେ ଯଦି ଜଣେ ମାନେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ତା ହୋଟେଲ ରେ ରଖିଛି କି ଦୋକାନ ରେ ରଖିଛି ଏମିତି କରୁଛି, ତ ତାକୁ ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ ଟା ତ ମିଳିବ ନା ହୋଟେଲ ର ତାଙ୍କୁ କଣ ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ ମିଳିବ?
କଥା ହେବି ବାବା।
This problem are being taken by the labor office. You know, in every district level, because and child protection act, hello,
हाँ सर कुहतु।
हाँ यही छुआ मान को रखिबाटा टी स्टॉल रे होगे से इट इज ए कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस अकॉर्डिंग टू चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, चिल्ड्रन प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट। हैं civil another act is there, that is the another act is that the juvenile act ଅଛି, child protection act ଅଛି, ଆପଣଙ୍କର labor law ରେ ବି ଅଛି ଯେ ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଏଇ ଛୁଆ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏମ୍ପ୍ଲୟ କରୁଛି ହଜାରିଆ ସ୍ୱର୍ଗରେ ହଉ କି ନନ ହଜାରିଆ ସ୍ୱର୍ଗରେ ହଉ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ସନ ଆକ୍ଟ ରେ ବା ଜୁଭେନାଇଲ ଆକ୍ଟ ରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ଅଫେନ୍ସ ଦିଆଯାଉଛି, ମାନେ ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ ଦିଆଯାଉଛି। ସେଇଟା କଗ୍ନିଜେବଲ ଅଫେନ୍ସ ବି ହେଇପାରେ, ସେଇଟା ଫାଇନ ବି ହେଇପାରେ ଏବଂ 2 ବର୍ଷ 3 ବର୍ଷ ପାଇଁ ସଶ୍ରମ କାରାଦଣ୍ଡ ବି ହେଇପାରେ।
ओके सर। सर हमर मेनली चिल्ड्रंस माने रूरल एरिया मेनली ट्राइबल एरिया रे से माने टोटली स्कूल जानती नी ना पाठ ही पढ़ंती सेही जो पिला मानकू किछि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अछि एमति कि जो माने काम नै कि रखुछंती पढ़ौछंती सेमति किछि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हम ओडिसा रे अछि कि केते अछि?
हमर प्राय प्रत्येक जिल्ला रे चिल्ड्रन ऑब्जर्वेशन होम माने अछि। जो छुआ को तार बापा माँ केयर करू नांती जो छुआ नेग्लेक्टेड किंबा तार कौनसी लोक नांती ताकू तार लालन पालन करबा पई हैं किंबा गोटे छुआ को जन्म कर देला परे ताकू अबैंडन कर दिया जाउची। डिस्ट्रिक्ट वेलफेयर ऑफिस गोटे अछि चिल्ड्रन आईसीडीएस प्रोजेक्ट अंडर रे हैं चिल्ड्रन डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट जो अच्छी से गोटे चिल्ड्रन होम बा ऑब्जर्वेशन चिल्ड्रन होम रखाई से कलेक्टर होती से ही इज द ओनर डिस्ट्रिक्ट वेलफेयर ऑफिस अच्छे से छुआर प्रत्येक केयर प्रत्येक जत्न तार खाइबा पीवा आरंभ कर तार पाठ पढ़ा खर्च सब सरकार बहन कर जो जो लोक मैंने they are committing offense against these children, they will be punishable in these acts.
Okay.
हला तापर एडॉप्शन पई सुनो आगरो जो विभिन्न सोसाइटी रो आगे जे बहुत एडॉप्शन एक्ट माने आसला हम को एडॉप्शन करबा और आगरो बापा कि मां जदि बंची दिबे ताले से एडॉप्शन दे पड़ुले गिविंग एंड टेकिंग एडॉप्शन। आजिकाली कौन लोक भी कौन ऑर्फनेज रु बा कौन ऑब्जर्वेशन होम रु रन बाय द गवर्नमेंट और नॉन गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से एडॉप्शन कर पार एडॉप्शन रो विभिन्न रूल गुडाक अछि साइन करबा पड़िबो। वेलफेयर ऑफ द चाइल्ड इज द मेन थिंग जो एडॉप्शन जो छुआ को एडॉप्शन करिवो तार मेन कंसर्न है वेलफेयर ऑफ द चाइल्ड। यदि वेलफेयर ऑफ द चाइल्ड यदि इट इज नॉट फेल्ट और it is used, then the person will not be given in adoption. So आजिकली इंटरनेशनल लेवल रे नेशनल लेवल रे एडॉप्शन एक्ट मानू को जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट रे भी एडॉप्शन रो सिस्टम अछि हाउ टू टेक एडॉप्शन ऑफ ए चाइल्ड। होला
यस सर।
तो आ कोन अछि को
सर सत्य एक्ट सर ओडिया
सती
हां सर
की एक सती
हां सर हां सर
सती एक्ट इज the act of to prevent the burning of the widows. It was the act जे जो जार हस्बैंड मरी जीवो ताकू तार से माने सेतिरे ताकू दाह करे दिवा ताकू सेति पुड़ी दिया होतला मारी दिया होतला। दैट वाज जरा बहुत ओल्ड एक्ट सर 1955 रे बोधे सेटा पास हला जे बहुत सोशल रिफॉर्मर्स लाइक राजा राममोहन राय एवं अन्य सोशल वर्कर्स सोशल रिफॉर्मर्स मानकर सहायता रे माने लॉर्ड विलियम बेंटिक सेते बेले गवर्नर जनरल थिले इंडिया रे तांकर कोऑपरेशन रे माने एई प्रथाटी को माने इंडिया रू पूरा खत्म कर दिया गला जहाँकि आजिकली मोटे नहीं कौन सी जगह रे भी माने एमती सती प्रथा किंबा बर्निंग ऑफ द विडोज इन द पायर ऑफ PIR पायर ऑफ द हस्बैंड इट इज नॉट सी इट इज टोटली बैंड।
थैंक यू सर।
सर प्रीवियस क्लास रे आपण ओटे कहितले कि मीडिया भाले इंडिया रे सूफी कल्चर आ भक्ति कल्चर जो थिला तो से सुफी आ माने डिफरेंस कौन जे सुफी कल्चर टाइम रे ह्यूमन राइट्स माने तांकर राइट्स कोन थिला आ भक्ति कल्चर टाइम रे तांकर राइट्स टा कोन थिला माने डिफरेंस कोन
सुफी कल्चर टा हला जोटा ताने हमर जो राजस्थान रे अजमेर रे जो अछि मुजुन सृष्टि ख्वाजा मुजुन सृष्टि ही वाज द प्रोपॉन्डर ऑफ द सुफी कल्चर एमती बहुत प्रोपॉन्डर दरगाह माने अछि भारत रे बहुत जगह दरगाह माने अछि से मुस्लिम सेंट्स जन सुफी को जाउतला से माने दे वर टीचिंग अबाउट द वैल्यूज ऑफ द ह्यूमैनिटीज लोक मानक ह्यूमैनिटी शिखौथिले माने लोक को केमती भल पाइबाटा सोसाइटी रे केमती लोक को गरीब लोक मान को साहाय्य करबाटा जो माने निडी पर्सन लोक को केमती हेल्प करबाटा सत्य कहबाटा समाज को भल गति रे नबाटा एमती चोरी हत्या मिथ्या एपरि जिनिस से बहुत डेडिकेटेड लाइफ गोटे सेंटली लाइफ इटा करुथिले एवं बहुत लोक तांकर से लाइफ रे तांकर आदर्श रे एवं तांकर प्रचार प्रसार अनुप्राणित होकर लोक माने गोटे खराब कर्मरु कुकर्मरु सुकर्म को गति करुथिले सेमती आमर सुफी कल्चर थिला सुफी कल्चर रे विभिन्न प्रकार सेंट्स माने थिले मुस्लिम सेंट्स जो थिले तांकर दरगाह माने अछि एवं तांकर थिला जे ए सोसाइटी टाको अपलिफ्ट करबाटा जमती सोसाइटी बहुत प्रकार सुपरस्टिशन थिला अंधविश्वास थिला सोशल क्राइम्स थिला कास्ट कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन थिला माने अनटचेबिलिटी थिला माने अनटचेबिलिटी वाज वेरी रैम्पेंट इन द सोसाइटी माने एससी एसटी विशेष कर एससी लोक मान को लोक छू नथिले तांको मंदिर रे पुराउ नथिले तांको पब्लिक घाट्स रे अलाउ करू नथिले तांको रोड रे चली दउ नथिले जे जे जदि से घर को आसीबा तांको गोबर पानी रे पवित्रता करूथिले एमती तांको बहुत प्रकार टर्चर कर जातले एई सब अंधविश्वास को दूर करबा पई सना बहुत चेष्टा करथिले सुफी कल्चर रो साइंस गुडा को एवं सेमाने ए ह्यूमैनिटी को सेमाने दे ग्रो द ह्यूमन राइट्स टू सर्टेन एक्सटेंट जेडो के तांकर आदर्श एबे भी माने रिलेवेंट दे आर preaching of the sermons preaching of the discourses are still relevant in the society जेंडा गुरु नानक कहते जे खाली पूजा पाठ करी करी नाना प्रकार अंधविश्वास को इनवाइट करी करी नाना प्रकार बलि प्रथा नाना प्रकार सिस्टम कथा खाली पूजा पाठ रे लोक विश्वास करी सब खराब सब भल काम गुड़ा भूली जाऊे यही सब दूर करने से जो प्रयास करते गुरु नानक है टुका माने आमर महाराष्ट्र ज्ञान दे तुकाराम विभिन्न प्रकार सुफी मान भक्ति कल्चर से लोक यहाँ कम करते किसी अंधविश्वास कुसंस्कार क्राइम्स माने टू प्रिवेल ट्रूथ इन द सोसाइटी से चेष्टा करते ह्यूमन राइट्स को दे आर गिविंग बूस्ट टू द ह्यूमन राइट्स एवं तांका पई सोसाइटी बहुत आगू बढ़ीगला सोसाइटी रो गुडनेस टा गुड सेंस टा बहुत आगू बढ़ी है
थैंक यू सर
ओके लेट अस कंक्लूड today's topic
sir child abuse sir child abuse
child abuse आपनकर माने बुझा पड़ला नै कोन तो चाइल्ड एब्यूज तो हो
सर से सर टिके चाइल्ड अब्यूज
हां कोन तो
हां सर चाइल्ड अब्यूज टिके सर ओडिया रे टिके एक्सप्लेन करन सर बुझि पाले
चाइल्ड अब्यूज माने हला जो विभिन्न कारण दृष्टि माने गरीब कारण हो किंबा अंधविश्वास कारण हो किंबा तांकु जो अबैंडन करा जाउची तांकु जे माने जन्म कला पर तांकु जो माने सुरक्षा पई बा तार पालन कहि ना दे से छुआ मान को तांकर एई प्रकार रो एडवांटेज नै कि ताकु हमर सोसाइटी रे तांकु मिसयूज करा जाउची दैट इज चाइल्ड एब्यूज मिसयूज माने हला गोटे छुआ रो राइट अछि से छुआ जन्म हला टू ताकु प्रॉपर केयर दियाइबो से भल भाव रे बढ़िबो ठीक खाद्य दियाइबो ठीक वस्त्र दियाइबो से जेमती कोनसी बीमार रे पड़िबो नै तार उपयुक्त यत्न नइबो से जमी सोसाइटी भल भाव में बढ़ जदि से प्रकार माने ताको बढ़ाइबा आम देवा ना ताहले से भिक्टिमाइज हो जाती सोसाइटी विभिन्न लोकंर माने लोलुप दृष्टि जो उनको सेक्सुअल एब्यूज करा जाए तांको विभिन्न काम रे लगा जाए तांको डोमेस्टिक हेल्प करा जाए जे गोटे छुआटे डोमेस्टिक हेल्प हेवाई तो तार अधिकार बंचीदेला ना से यदि कम कला अन्य जगार तार अधिकार बंचीदेला ताकू से बढ़िया भल भाव में बढ़ाटा हूँ तार अधिकार भल भाव में लालन पालन पाइबाटा तो समाज में तार अधिकार अधिकार भल भाव में पाठ पढ़ा स्कूल को जीवा सेटा तार अधिकार भल भाव में हेल्थ केयर करवा सेटा तार अधिकार से अधिकार आम जो वंचित करवा विभिन्न काम लगेगा जो सेक्सुअल एब्यूज करवा जो भिकारी करवा जदि माने तार स्वास्थ्य को दृष्टि न दे विभिन्न काम लगेगा दैट इज एब्यूज ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन बुझेला
हाँ सर थैंक यू सर
ओके ओके लेट अस कंक्लूड
thank you very much, sir.
okay
I mean,
okay
now we'll conclude the session. So
Okay.
I mean, tomorrow again 10 o'clock another class. Thank you, sir. And now ending the session.
मोर तो कल ही पर दिन होची डे
हाँ
आफ्टर
सर
टुमारो
सर हाँ सर
ठीक है